of the amazing devs from our team. How are you doing this morning?
Ken, I'm feeling good.
Awesome. We're so excited. It is Devs on Stage morning. One of the most exciting keynotes in all of tech, definitely for our data fam. And we are lucky enough that Kent has actually done this. He has been one of the devs on stage. So we're getting like inside information into what it's like for these devs.
Behind the scenes scoop, Ken.
So yes, I want the behind the scenes. Like literally, what are they doing behind the scenes right now?
Right now?
Yes, like
so
right now.
You're gonna see 5 members of the development team right now come out on stage, but they're back there. They hear the noise, they hear the energy, they feel it. They're getting a little nervous maybe, a little sweaty in the palms. But no, don't worry. They're well prepared. They're gonna come out on stage. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
I cannot wait, but I'm gonna ask, like, what makes this so popular? Because this is like, it's just features. Like, why are people are gonna start clapping and cheering? Like, what does it for people?
Kiana, it's not just features. They are gonna be showing innovation, problem-solving tools and capabilities. Everything that's shown on Devs on Stage is meant for our customers to help them solve real problems.
We're solving problems. First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, we're gonna solve lots of problems.
That's awesome. Okay, so what kind of work does it take to prepare for this keynote? Because this is a big deal to be one of these devs.
Yeah, you know, Devs on Stage, I mean, it's here at the Mandalay Bay Arena. There's probably 10,000 people in here. Probably 1 million people streaming this online.
Definitely a million. Millions of people.
The preparation starts months in advance. There's script work, there's speaker coaches, there's rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal, and when you nail it, Francois or Adam says, can you change that? So there's constant rework, but the team is so excited for this. I mean, I can't wait for it.
I'm so excited. So here's the deal, Data Fam. You guys watching at home, you're going to see a ton of people waving these cards. I'll actually show you. I have one. They're gonna look like this. They're gonna get so excited when they see a feature and they're gonna go, woo! It's the greatest thing. You can do the same at home. Follow us at #Data19. Use your emojis, tell us how you feel, and tweet at us at Tableau. Also, #DevsOnStage if you want to get real specific. We're gonna head out soon, but we're gonna be here right after this the keynote to recap what we saw, talk a little bit about.
You're not gonna want to miss it.
You're not gonna want to miss it. Kent's gonna give us lots of insight into all of the problems that are being solved. Catch us after this. Please enjoy the keynote and use your emojis. We'll see you later.
I see data people.
We are data people, we are data people. We are data people, we are data people. We are data people, we are data people. We are data people, we are data people.
Gonna drag and drop the data. Color filter, show me data. Scatter plot, tree map the data. Stack the bars, heat map the data. Gotta understand the data. Got the answers in the data. Gotta visualize the data. Gotta visualize the data.
TC19, do you love to biz? Ambassadors, Jedi, know the biz. Zen Masters show you how it is. Visualize. 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 The data nerds are the ones who know. Community helps you be a pro. Showing us the power of Tableau. Visualize. We are data people. 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 Gotta clean and prep the data so that you can ask the data. Then Tableau explains the data. Data. See and understand the data.
Data watchdog check the data. Change the world and use the data. Finding answers in the data. Finding answers in the data.
TC19, do you love to viz? Ambassadors, Jedi, know the biz. Zen Masters show you how it is. The data nerds are the ones who know. Community helps you be a pro. Showing us the power of Tableau. We are data people. 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 We are data people.
Gonna drag and drop the data.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Andrew Beers, the CTO of Tableau.
Stack the bars, heat map the data. Gotta understand the data. Get the answers in the data. Gotta visualize the data. Gotta visualize.
Another big hand for Robert DeLong, everyone! Woo! Awesome. Wasn't that cool? Well, hello and good morning to day 2 of the best analytics conference in the world. And a big reason that this is the best conference in the world is all of you. So a huge thank you to this community for all that you do every day. Thank you. Now, what would the best analytics conference in the world be without the best dang data party in the world? Data Night Out is coming to you live from the Palms Casino Resort tonight. Are you excited? Yeah! And get this, they tell me the theme this year is Neon Glitz Retro Vegas. So make sure you get on your neoniest, your glitziest, your retroiest stuff and come out for a crazy party. Because as we all know, what happens in Vegas stays on Instagram. That's right. But between now and then, we have another great day packed with amazing content, amazing people, amazing vendors, everything that you need to get your learning on about data and all the good that it can do. Now, let's kick things off. And I say this every year, with the best and most fun session in the whole conference. Come on, you know what this session is. Say it with me now. Devs on Stage. That's right. Devs on Stage, a conference favorite for the last 12 years. We're going to bring some of our fabulous team members up on this very stage, and they are going to drag and drop their way through our coolest new features and into your hearts. Oh. But before we get going, I want to let you know that this is going to be a dynamic presentation. This thing's really cool. I always love that word, dynamic. But I always wanted to stand up on this stage and say something after it. I just can't remember what it is. What's that? Is that it? I don't know.
Maybe the devs can help me remember it later. All right, some of the things you are seeing today are shipping right now, some are in beta, and some are coming soon. So get ready for some awesome stuff. All right, we love when you get animated. So let's get animated. Are you ready? Are you set? Welcome this year's Devs on Stage. Victoria, Sarah, Tyler, Manpreet, and Filipos. These are 5 fantastic people from our dev team that have a lot in store for you, so you are all in for a real treat. Now, you all know that this is an event with audience participation. Don't worry, it's going to be real easy. I see that you found the signs that we left out for you. Let me see them. All right, I see some cats and some Datalicious. Okay, that's great. All right, so if you see something you really like, wave those signs up in the air and make some big noise, all right? Let's get things started. Say hello to Victoria!
Thank you, Andrew, and good morning, TC. My name is Victoria, and I'm a software engineer here at Tableau. When I first started at Tableau, I thought our products only helped you see and understand your business data. But then I saw just how creative Tableau could be because of you. You created games like Battleship and Jeopardy with Tableau. This community blows my mind. Do you know what else blows my mind? How much tea I drink. I love tea, so I want to know where it comes from. This viz is showing the total exports by category for India, and tea is a relatively low export. So now watch as I change the filter to see how much tea Kenya exports. Keep your eye on the viz, everyone. This is Mark Animations in Tableau. Tableau comes to life as we watch our data evolve, and we can see that tea is the biggest export from Kenya. So let's do it again. This time, continue to keep your eye on tea as I change the filter to Sri Lanka. Now it's so easy to follow and see the mark with tea with animations. Let's switch to a different example. This viz is showing the total average tea exports in the top 5 countries in the world. But I see this rise in the last 10 years. So, which countries have been causing a rise in tea exports? Well, let's click this filter to find out. It looks so good. Now, with animations, we can clearly see how the average deconstructs, that the global average is pulled up by Sri Lanka, China, and Kenya. And just like you know and love in Tableau, animations are customizable. You can make them faster or slower, change the style, or simply turn them off. Now, I know what you're thinking. Animations are simply the best. Simply the best! Well, it gets even better. Mark animations are also available in Tableau Server, Tableau Online, and Tableau Public, everywhere in the browser! let me show you. When I first heard we were investing in animations, the first visualization I thought of was of Hans Rosling's scatterplot, showing life expectancy by family size. Here's a published version on server. Each mark is a different country, and I've added years to my pages control, so I can view my data by year. And did you notice this button? That's right, we're adding the Pages Play button to the web. So, should we try it out? Let's follow the mark for Iran as we travel through time. Now, instead of clicking through every year in a filter, for the first time on web, and with just one click, I can automatically play through views of my data. Isn't that exciting? Now, we know that you don't always need the glamour or the movement of animations. Sometimes for your business, you just need a static snapshot of your data to distribute to your team, like you might do with subscriptions. Let's click subscribe from the toolbar. This year, we added the format option to attach PDFs to your subscriptions. So let's change the format to PDF. And I'm going to add my favorite team. Each person will get a personalized PDF attachment that they can view, print, or easily link right back to the dashboard for further analysis. But wait, when your data is an extract, you don't always know when to schedule it. Well, have no fear, a new scheduling option is here. This option will run only after. This option will run only after your extract refresh is complete, so you can make sure that you see the latest and greatest data. With Someone's excited. With PDF attachments, you now have report bursting. And subscriptions have never been more powerful. Now, speaking of sharing, there is no better place to share insights than Tableau Public. In fact, 750,000 of you have created content that has been viewed more than 2 billion times. Thank you for all the amazing work you do. One amazing piece of work is this dashboard by Fiorella Kahn, showing James Patterson book checkouts from the Seattle Library. And naturally, I have another question. I want to know, what are the top 5 books checked out each month? But I don't want to spend time downloading the workbook, opening it up on desktop, and then publishing my work. Well, no more. Introducing, for the first time on stage, web authoring in Tableau Public. So let's click this new button, Explore to investigate. Emojis, anyone? So I started exploring a little earlier, and I found the top 5 checkouts. But I want to know the most popular books for each month and year. It's easy. Let's go to their sheet and click Edit Tooltip. Insert my new viz, and click OK. Now, we're going to jump back to the worksheet, and we're done. That's right, I just added a viz and tooltip on the web. And it's showing me that Ambush was the most popular book this time last year. Looks like I gotta go check it out. It took me no time at all to find my own insight using Fiorella's workbook, all in the convenience of web authoring. And when I'm done and hit save, we are automatically adding the attribution, giving the original author credit where credit is due. I cannot wait to see what more you will come up with using animations, exploring web authoring in public, and all the other goodies we are giving you next year. I have no doubt that you will continue to blow me away. Thank you. Now, to show us some new preppy operations in Tableau Prep, please welcome Manpreet.
What's up, Data Fam? I am Manpreet, and I'm a software engineer here at Tableau. I found Tableau when I was working on my thesis in grad school. I loved it so much that I moved from sunny Australia to rainy Seattle just to work here. I work on Tableau Prep, and I'm really excited to show you what's coming next to make data cleaning even simpler. Let's first take a look at the data set I'll be using. In a rainy city like Seattle, I find myself watching a lot of movies. So I wanted to produce a data set about top 500 movies that made the most in ticket sales. So here, in this data set, I have ticket sales, movie title, genres, release year. I have a lot of columns. With data like this, it is hard to navigate through all the columns. That is why we added list view. One click, and you can see all the fields nicely listed. You can do all the same operations you can do before. For instance, here I have year field as string. Let's change it to number. I don't need original title as part of my data source, so let's remove it. Clean and simple. List view gives you the flexibility to quickly make changes just the way you want to. Let's go back to the profile pane view. This data set here has over 7,000 movies, but I only want to keep top 500. Before I filter out most of the movies from my data set, I want to include a field with ticket sales by genre. To do so today, I'll have to aggregate ticket sales for each genre and then join it back to my data source. It's a complex, multi-step process. Well, we are making it simple by bringing level of detail support to prep. And you know what? It's visual like everything else in prep. Let me show you. To aggregate ticket sales by genre, I can use this new option, fixed level of detail. Add genres to group by, and I get a new field added to my data set. ticket sales by genre. It's that simple. Next, I want to rank movies to filter top 500. This cannot be done directly in prep today. That is why we are adding rank. Watch how simple it is. Click, click, and I get a new field added to my data set, ranking all of my movies. This bar here represents top 500 movies. I can simply select and keep only the data I need. Operations like rank and fixed level of detail makes it so easy to produce the data sets that you and your team needs. I showed you some great features to clean your data. But how often do you repeat the same cleaning steps on similar data sets? I do it all the time. For instance, oops. OK. For instance, here I'm connected to survey questions and responses. To get this data ready for analysis, I need to pivot, then clean before I can join. But we run these surveys all the time. And every time I get a new data set, I have to recreate the exact same steps every single time. Well, not anymore. Introducing reusable steps. I can now select the steps I want to reuse. I can either save these to a file or publish to server. Let's save to a file. Here, I'm connected to a different set of survey responses. Let's bring in the reusable steps we just saved using the new option, Insert Flow. Select, open, and all I have to do is connect the input node with the reusable steps by drag and drop, oopsie, and drop, and that's it. This is going to save me so much time. But that's not all. At Tableau, we believe sharing is caring, right? OK. Here, I'm connected to Tableau server. And with Prep Conductor, I can also reuse all these steps published by my teammates. Look at all the great work my team has done. Reusable steps gives you the power to leverage the work of others in your data community and accelerate your work. When we ship features like these, you, the data community, loves to tweet your reactions. And I like to share those with my team. So here, I have a simple flow to clean your tweets. Every time I run this flow, it processes all of your tweets. But you guys tweet so much. I love it. But I don't want to process all the tweets every single time I run this flow. Wouldn't it be great if I could tell the flow, hey, just process new data? That is why we are adding incremental incremental refresh. Take a look at input settings. I can now set up an incremental field. Let's use publish state. Now, when I will run this flow, it will only process tweets with publish state later than the previous run. This is great. With incremental refresh, you can now save resources and time by only processing new data. Easy, reusable, and powerful. That's where we are going with prep. We are on a journey to make data preparation simple and delightful. With all these new features, you can now spend less time prepping and more time analyzing your data. Thank you. Now, please welcome Tyler to show you some great improvements to data modeling.
Thank you, Manpreet, and hello, TC! I'm Tyler, a developer here at Tableau, and I have a confession. I think that bringing data together for analysis is really hard. That's why I chose to work on our data modeling team so that it could make data modeling easier, automatic, and more flexible, so that everyone can unlock richer analytics. Now, I'm sure that many of you and your companies can relate to my struggles. Businesses often have a wide array of data, and pulling that all together to look at the big picture is important for optimizing any business. So to demonstrate, let's analyze the data of a renewable energy company. We're going to kick it off by starting in Tableau today, and it should be really easy to do this. I'm already connected to a data for our sales opportunities. And to add in our population, I will just drag it out. Now, Tableau has built a single table data source linking population to our sales opportunities by state. So I can just jump to a new tab, grab our states, grab our population, and sort. But wait, that cannot be right. California does not have over 4 billion people. What has happened here? Ah, I know. Let's look at the data source. The population table has one row per state, but the opportunities table has many opportunities in each state. So when I join them together, the population of each state is multiplied by the number of opportunities, exploding the value. And to handle this today, I would have to write a complex level of detail calculation. But instead, let's see what happens when I use a future version of Tableau. Here, I am connected to the same sales opportunities. And watch this time what happens when I drag out population. Instead of a join, we get what my team calls the noodle. It is a fun. That's right, it is so much fun. And it is a powerful tool for building relationships between tables. The tables are not yet joined. In the data grid below, I can see that each one has its own columns and rows. Instead of forming that join now, the relationship defers the join to viz time. I don't have to decide, that's right, thank you. I don't have to decide in advance how I want to join the data or what my level of detail should be. Relationships let Tableau use my analysis to intelligently choose the correct level of detail and join for each visualization. No more join planning required. So now let's check on that population again. We'll grab our states, the population, and sort. And oh does that look so much better? California is right about 40 million, as I would expect. No more complex level of detail calculations required. Now, some of you may recognize this from the keynote last year. This is our new data model. But this is just the beginning. In the past, adding another table of data at a different level of detail would have required careful thinking about what joins to use and, more importantly, what questions they support. But with relationships, adding another table like products is simple. I just drag it out, and the Noodle seamlessly builds the relationship for me. Wasn't that easy? Now that we have our products, let's see how they are selling. Back on the sheet, on the left in the data pane, Tableau has done some work for me. It sorted everything by table, and for each table, there's this new count. This is a count of each table, essentially a number of records for that table, preserving its level of detail. Tableau did the calculation for me. So let's drag out those count of opportunities, break it down by product, and sort once more. Now, this is no ordinary bar chart. Starting at the top, I can see that Tableau keeps all values. This is how dynamic joins are empowering my analysis. This null bar represents all of the products or all of the opportunities where there is not yet a product. This means that there are 215 opportunities where we don't yet know what product the customer wants. But if I wasn't interested in these, I could simply exclude them from the viz. And at the bottom, I can see multiple products with a count of 0 opportunities. These are products that have never been sold. And again, if I don't want to see them, I can filter them with a simple exclude. These filters act like different join types. I started with all of the data like an outer join, then removed the opportunities without products like a right join, and then removed all the products without opportunities like an inner join. Previously, I would have had to select these join types ahead of time, but now Tableau dynamically shapes the data through direct interactions with the viz. This is the power of Tableau's data model. I know, pretty amazing. But there are still times when you want full control over your joins. Or maybe you need to union a bunch of files together. Are there any superstar data modeling experts out there? Ah, there you are. Well, you might be wondering, do I still have access to all of my favorite tools? Well, the answer is absolutely. Let me show you. Back here on the Data tab, those with keen eyes may have noticed that my Opportunities table has that familiar joins Venn diagram. And the tooltip tells me it's made of 4 tables. Well, Opportunities is actually a logical table. I think of logical tables like containers. So let's open this one up. Here we can see that Opportunities is actually made from these specific joins, because all of the tools, from single tables to joins to unions and even custom SQL, are still available to you here. Now, I have one more question, one that would ordinarily be very complex. There is a campaigns fact table in the data set tracking the marketing team's work. And traditionally, relating one fact table like campaigns to another fact table like opportunities is hard. It would require heavy-duty custom SQL or multiple data sources, each with complex joins at different levels of detail. But in the new model, it is easy. I can construct that relationship with drag and drop. So let me show you. I know that people at companies are involved in opportunities. So I can use the noodle, which is just so much fun, to drop it right in and link it to opportunities. And I also know that campaigns market to people. So again, we can just drop the fact table campaigns right with people. And just like that, I have built a multi-fact data model with many-to-many relationships. Now that we have the marketing data, let's see how those campaigns are impacting our product sales. I'm going to grab win rate, drop it on color, grab our products, and grab our campaigns. And with just a few clicks, it is easy to see that social media campaigns for starter kits has a 75% win rate. And towers over here, 70% in the null column, no marketing required. Valuable insights thanks to Tableau's support for seamlessly integrating multiple fact tables. In just minutes, I have built an extremely powerful and reusable data source, capable of answering questions at different levels of detail thanks to dynamic joins. I could publish just this one data source and make it available for anyone to use and expand on. This is the power of relationships. They make gathering and shaping data for analysis as drag and drop easy as building a visualization. And next year, I'm excited to see what the Noodle can do for you. Now, server admins, get ready to cheer, because this next one is for you. Please give a warm welcome to Sarah.
Thank you, Tyler, and good morning, TC19! My name is Sarah, and besides being a data rock star, I also love to play Pokemon Go. So you may see me wandering around the conference doing this. Or maybe a couple of these. It's a shiny. But do not be alarmed. These are completely natural Pokemon trainer behaviors. Back home, the sustaining team I'm on manages over 20 different server environments that the entire dev team has access to. And you can imagine that's a big challenge for us. So you might say, I'm a professional server admin. Are there any other professional server admins out there in the audience? Awesome. I am super excited to show you some improvements we're making to Tableau server. So let's dive right in. You asked for a way to share your own messages to your entire server base, whether that be a planned maintenance window or just links to wiki pages, Slack channels with information about your server environment. Well, in 2019-3, we added the custom welcome message. So let's set one. I just go to Settings, click Customization, add a custom message, paste it in, I'll save it, and now everyone who logs into my server will see the message I chose. But what if your user can't log into server yet? Well, we also added custom login messages. Here's one that I set earlier, and it has a URL that takes people to information on very important people to contact to get them access to my server. I told you that I like to catch Pokemon, but there is nothing I like more than managing desktop product keys. Oh, no. Can't Tableau make it easier? Yes, we can. And coming soon, we're throwing those keys out the door with login-based license management. And I can't wait to show you. Server admins already do a ton of work managing user roles on server to determine who can access what. Well, now, when you grant somebody a creator license, you're also giving them a desktop key. I know Detective Pikachu's going to want to log into desktop tomorrow, so I'm going to give him a creator license. You've probably done this before. Now, he's a creator. So when Ryan Reynolds, Detective Pikachu, logs in the morning, this is what they'll see. As you can see, we've added a new option to activate with your server credentials. And it's just as simple as logging in to server. And in just a second, I'm activated! I hope this makes all of your lives a little easier. I know it'll make mine easier as well. But I've got more time to dazzle you. We released new tools that give you the power to level up your admin game. They provide insights into your overall Tableau server deployments and also simplify common tasks. Introducing the Resource Monitoring Tool. This main dashboard shows all of my servers in one place. My dev, my QA, my production, they're all here. It looks like I have something to check out in the QA environment, so I'm going to click on that now. Here on this main landing dashboard, I can see all of the hardware and usage-related metrics on my server. Are you dazzled? Okay. As admins, we know no news is good news. But is it? When you are sustaining multiple server environments, you need to be able to report a status on any server at any time. It looks like I might have a spike in view load time, so I'll just highlight it. And I'm taken to a list of every VisQL session that was running during that time frame. I can also select background tasks and see all of those as well. Even every data query we're sending to the database. But what I really want to know is, why was this view slow? So I'll click on it. And in a minute, I'll be taken to another dashboard where it gives me information about the session times. And it looks like this was taking a lot longer than average. So I'll select environment activity. This is the dashboard you saw earlier, only broken down into the time frame I selected. And when I scroll down, I can also see all the background tasks that were running on the server. I can toggle and see that there were 72 background tasks running in 12 minutes. That seems a bit high, and I can easily adjust that schedule to spread it out so that this user has a better experience in the future. The power of the resource monitoring tool is truly a game changer. But that's not all server admins have to manage. You also have to manage all of the content. Workbooks and projects and permissions, data sources, oh my Pikachu! Not to mention complex content workflows that have to be approved and stamped and moved and sorted to another place. Let me show you one. Here I have a server with a project and lots of workbooks on the default site. Some of the workbooks, like this one, have an approved tag. My workflow requires me to move every workbook that has an approved tag to a different site in a different project without tags, and then report on that status. So, up in the corner, you can see I have a beta tag with my fish named Magikarp. Well, Magikarp, how are we going to get this done? I don't know, Sarah. I don't think we have enough time left in our demo to even do this with one workbook. Wrong, Magikarp. What if I told you we could do all of this right here on stage without even opening desktop? I'd say that's impossible. Well, I'm excited to introduce you to the content migration tool. Here's a plan that I created earlier for this migration, where I chose my server and my different sites. I made a selection. In this case, I was using tags. I chose my mapping of changing projects, and I'm going to replace the image. But the options are so vast. You can even do data source transformations if your sandbox and production environments are in different data centers. Let's just run this migration. While this is running, it does everything I would do in desktop for me and creates a report that I can validate everything worked. So I just click on this link to view it on server. And let's see. Now, I'm approved for production. I'm in a different site, in a different project, all without opening desktop. Did you ever think moving and managing content could be this fun? Well, congratulations. You have all leveled up your admin game, so I must bid you farewell. But you can catch me at the data pool later today and ask questions about the features you saw. But now, I gotta go catch them all. Now, please welcome Filipos. He's going to demo some analytics, and it's going to be truly dynamic.
Thank you, Sarah, and hello, TC. Kalos ήρθατε. This means welcome in my first language, Greek. My name is Filipos, and when people meet me, they have a hard time remembering my name. But here's a little trick. Filipos comes from two Greek words, philos, which means friend, and ipos, which means horse. So, friend of horses. All right. Enough horsing around. I had to. I'm a product manager in the interactive analytics team here at Tableau, and the one feature I could not live without is Tableau sets. Sets are very simple and powerful to use. Let's start with simplicity. Here's a list of countries streaming content on Spotify. I have added some countries to the country set and placed the set on color and shape. In Tableau today, I can open the sets dialog and change the set easily enough. Let's go ahead and remove France and Germany and instead pick Greece, my home country. Hit apply, and the viz updates. That's all a set is, a collection of values I can keep track of. Now, using the set, I can ask questions about Greece. For example, how do you all think Greek listeners compare to the rest of the world? Well, here's a cool viz showing streaming percentages on Spotify broken down by artist. The circles represent Greece, the country in my set, and the vertical lines represent streaming for the rest of the world. Clearly, my listening to Ariana has paid off. Greeks love her music. But turns out not everyone is Greek, and I want to share this viz with a broader audience. But unless you can pick the countries you care about, that's all Greek to you, right? I had to do it. It was right there. This is why this year we're bringing the power of sets to everyone. Introducing our brand new feature, the Set Control. Yeah. All I have to do is open the Sets menu and choose Show Set. Now keep your eyes on the upper right. I'll click, and now I have a control for my set. Yeah. Now everyone can remove Greece and pick other countries like Guatemala and Colombia, all in a single interface. Yeah. Clearly, Osuna is crushing it in the selected countries, just like Ariana in Greece. The set control is compact, searchable, and customizable, now in the hands of all your Viz consumers. So, sets are incredibly powerful, especially when used in calculations. And interacting with calculations now, easy as a click. Check this out. Here's a view showing US music formats ranked by revenue. We have CDs at the top and 8-track all the way at the bottom. Okay. If you're like me, you may be wondering, what is an 8-track? Well, here it is, an 8-track cassette tape. Borrowed directly from the Smithsonian. But I listen to Spotify, right? So when did streaming take over the industry? The bar chart to the left is sorted by revenue across all years. And the bar chart to the right is sorted by revenue for just the decades in the set, shown in the lower right. Watch the Viz as I uncheck the 80s. Ready? Sets, go. Ooh. Clearly, vinyl drops and digital rises. Tableau kept the ranks on the left the same and recomputed the ranks to the right based on the new set membership. Now, what about the 90s and early 2000s? Let's check it out. We see cassettes falling and eventually digital outpacing CD sales. And in the last 3 years, boom, streaming takes over. This was just a few clicks, and I got from action to insight. With the set control, now everyone can interact with the author's calculations and change them on the fly. And do you all see something? Even the set control couldn't save the 8-track. Still consistently last. All right. So we use sets to compare data over time. Let's now use Tableau maps to compare locations. Questions about proximity come up all the time. For example, what are the best schools near your neighborhood? Or how do customer demographics vary by store location? Answering questions like these, well, we want to make them as easy as everything else in Tableau. So let me show you our next big investment in spatial analytics, buffer calculations. Now, what is a buffer? It's just a boundary. Here's a map showing candidate locations for a new hotel in Manhattan. Let's go ahead and drag the buffer calculation hotel boundaries onto the Viz. This is too cool. I let go, and just like that, Tableau Tableau visualized the distance around each location. And all I had to tell Tableau was 3 simple things. What locations to apply the buffer on, the distance I care about, and of course, our units, meters, just like we use back home. Yeah. To now vary the search radius, I can easily remove 100 and replace it with this parameter. Drag and drop easy. Click OK, and now watch the viz as I change my parameter from 100 to 150 to 200 meters. My buffers update. But hold on. Buffers are more than just visual overlays. They help us bring spatial data together. Here's a dashboard showing the same locations on the left and to the right, Airbnb competition. So, what's the best location to open a new hotel? These are 2 completely separate data sources, and I cannot compare them like this, side by side. Buffers to the rescue. With buffers, I was able to join by location and bring the 2 data sources in a single view. Here it is. And now with the join data, as I decrease my parameter, Tableau only keeps the Airbnbs, within the updated boundaries. It gets even better. To count the competition within each boundary, drag and drop easy. This calculation on label. It is clear that the location in the village is surrounded by competition. 22 listings within just a few blocks. But look at that. The location up in Chelsea, an underserved market. With buffer calculations, you now understand proximity between marks, and we give you new ways to spatially filter and aggregate your data. And all that special spatial sweetness available in Tableau next year. So, improvements in sets and spatial are great, aren't they? I can't hear you. Yeah! But wait a minute. The #1 requested feature in the ideas forums has not yet been addressed. You've told us you are tired of republishing your workbooks with parameters again and again just because your data changes. Well, I'm here to tell you that the days of manual updates are now over. Let me show you know what's coming. Let me show you dynamic parameters. Everyone, you're making me feel like a real rock star. Like Ariana. All right. Here's a dashboard showing housing data for the city of Seattle, where I live. The last time I published this workbook, I had access to data through August. The problem is that every time I get new data, I have to go and update my parameter and republish my workbook so that everyone stays up to date with the most relevant content. It is a pain to maintain this workbook. So how about we set this up so I never have to do this ever again? Let's open the parameters definition right here on the web. TC. Do you notice anything different? I see two new game-changing features. The first thing I notice is a new option to update the parameters list of values. Here I can switch from today's fixed behavior to this new option and pick the date field. Notice the list, Notice the list on the left. It is grayed out. This is because we're dynamically pulling values from the data source. But what about the current value in the viz? Well, I see another option to update the parameter's current value. Here I can pick from a list of calculations I defined, the latest month calculation. And that's it. I'll save it. And now, it's November, right? And I want to see data for the latest months, September and October. So how about we test this out by logging in as Andrew Beers. Come on. You shouldn't have kept that sticky note on your desk. I'm so sorry. Let's see what we got here. Such a short password, too. Let's sign in. And everyone, look. Some pretty cool favorites as well. Also a Pokemon and an Ariana fan. I love it. All right, back to business. Let's open the same workbook we just set up. And everyone, get ready for awesomeness. Tableau. Tableau updated my parameter to October, the most recent month, and included the new values September and October in my dropdown. This is a refreshable parameter domain with default settings. You now have programmatic control over date, string, and measure value inputs to customize your analysis. And with dynamic parameters, you see the right data at the right time. Yeah. So I've just shown you the tip of the iceberg of what our latest set, spatial, and parameter improvements can do for you. To chat more analytics, catch me here and throughout the year on the forums and on Twitter. Efcharistopoli, thank you very much. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Filipos. Another hand for all the devs on stage. What an amazing show. Now, if you'll excuse me for a minute here, I've got to change my password. Thanks, Filipos. Next time I'm going to hide that sticky note better. All right, you know what this means, right? I can finally say it. Dynamic parameters! It felt so good to get that off my chest. What the dev team does is incredible, but it all starts with you. The conversations we have at the conference, at Showcase, and on social media are so important, and they really do motivate and inspire us. So thank you for everything that you do, for all the engagement over the years. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we are also really fortunate to get time with a dedicated group of Tableau customers that generously give us their insights every year. These are our Tableau ambassadors. Woo! They are top participants in our forums, they lead our user groups, and they help everyone around them level up their skills with Tableau and data in general. They're all around the conference, so please give them a big thank you, but I want to give them a big thank you here. Will all our ambassadors please stand up? Thank you, ambassadors. some community members stand out even more in their accomplishments and their commitment to us. These are people from the community that continue to distinguish themselves in their mastery of our products, their willingness to share their time and their insights with those around them, and their efforts to help us bring out better products every year. Well, every year, because of their service, they are nominated by this community here, and I'd like you to meet them now. Please join me in welcoming this year's Zen Masters to the stage. Woo. We are extremely fortunate to have such a talented and generous group among us. And last year, we created the Zen Master Hall of Fame. And we recognized 3 people for their service, people who've achieved the Zen Master honor 5 times. They are now our forever Zens. Joining this hallowed group this year is Steve Wexler. Steve has a passion for the power of data visualization and an incredible depth of knowledge in understanding the complexities of working with survey data. And combined with his willingness to challenge us all to be our best, Steve has had an immense impact on the Tableau community. So thank you, Steve, for all that you've done for us. Now, we have one more person to talk about this morning, and that's Kelly Martin. Kelly was a very early Zen master, and she achieved this honor 4 times before her battle with cancer interrupted her work. Kelly was an amazing all-around data expert, demographer, and statistician. But I think it's her contributions to design and color and layout that she'll be most remembered for. And many here will remember her for all that they learned from her. And we saw this dedication to using data through the very end, when she and those that were closest to her used Tableau to ensure that when that end came, she was at home and at peace. So in honor of all the tremendous contributions and her pioneering work, not only in data analysis, but in setting the tone and the expectations of this community, we have added her posthumously to the Zen Master Hall of Fame. All right, that's all we have for you this morning. As you head out for another full day of learning, let's keep Kelly's spirit alive in the community in a few simple ways. Connect with each other with kindness and humor and humility. Be role models and help others around you increase their skill. And give. This community thrives when we work together. Thank you again to the devs for the amazing show this morning. Thank you all for the engagement that you give us, and we will see you at Data Night Out. Thank you. Have a great day.
Did you lose your mind with dynamic parameters like everybody else did?
Yeah, it was like a standing ovation for a minute. People loved it.
They did. Why do you think they loved it so much?
I mean, let's be honest. People have been asking about dynamic parameters for years, maybe 5 years. And we finally delivered with some simple new additions to the user interface, making it easy to avoid manual uploads and redefinitions of workbooks. It's now so much easier to work with your data.
You see, kids, never give up on your dreams. Keep going. One day, you too will have dynamic parameters. That was awesome. I loved it. I get so excited every time I see our community members get up and get excited. Okay, so dynamic parameters was a big one. What else do you think people got really excited for? I think animations was great.
No, there must have been 25, 30 features delivered, and applauses were coming almost every minute.
Yeah.
Animations was huge. Pages on server was huge. The noodle and the new data modeling, and just making it easier to work with joins and multi-fact tables. Spatial buffers, that's stuff that I work on. And people were like, yeah. So I'm real excited about all that stuff. Everyone was.
Guys, I think the only person more excited at TC than me might be Ken Norton.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I know, it's a very big deal. I've just never had anyone that's more excited than me.
Well, I hope it's contagious.
It is. It's totally contagious. It's going to be contagious all day long. We've got tons of content still coming. We've got way more TC Live. We really hope you enjoyed this show here. I think that people get psyched about this, and they're going to be out talking to each other. If you're not here, first of all, we miss you, and try to come next year. But if you're not here, the conversations are going to be continuing on Twitter. Definitely join those. Talk to your data fam. And then, of course, watch us on TC Live. We've got a whole lot more coming. Thank you, Ken, for joining me today.
Thank you, Kiana.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you, everyone.
We'll definitely see you around. Where can people catch you today?
Today?
Yes.
Well, I'm always on Twitter.
Awesome.
So you can find me at Data Kmart. I'll be in the Data Village doing a session on mapping and leveling up your spatial business. I'll be around.
Nice. Okay, you guys, connect with them on Twitter. Go see them in the Data Village if you're here. Signing off for now. Thank you for joining us. I will see you later today. Enjoy the rest of TC Live.